Coach Wilcox mentioned that Tobias is either practicing or will be back to practice by the end of this week. What are the chances that he's able to play, and what have you seen from him, or will you hope to see from him this week?
Yeah, we're just getting him out. He's been with the strength and conditioning staff really for the last couple weeks, gaining strength back in his leg. Really think he's progressing well. We'll kind of see how it plays throughout the week, but obviously really excited to get him back here in the near future.
Assuming he gets back to full strength at some point here, what kind of dynamic can he add to the offense for you guys?
Yeah, just explosiveness and the ability to win down the field. I mean, he's a guy that was running 21.5, 22 miles an hour in fall camp. We were able to see that. We were able to see him against two really good corners, Noel and Marcus, throughout fall camp, and what he was able to do against those guys. So, obviously, we have missed him, and we're looking forward to having him back.
We'll go to Jake Curtis from Cal Bears on that side.
Yeah, Mike, had a lot more success offensively in the first three quarters of games rather than the fourth quarter. Any particular explanation?
Yeah, it's definitely been an issue for our football team. Having leads in the fourth quarter, offensively, defensively, special teams wise, been a point of emphasis. I mean, that's something that we talk about all the time is whenever you get into situational football, whether it's 4-minute offense, 1-minute offense. Those are the situations that win and lose you games. So we all have to do a better job of that. And I think, that's been a point of emphasis that coach has made to the team throughout the last couple of weeks and will continue to emphasize moving forward.
Is it something you might alter in terms of play calling?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can always go back and look at your play calls at the end of a game. You look at every play call that you make throughout a game. And if you're calling 80 plays, I don't think there's a coordinator in the country that says that they called 80 perfect plays. So that's always in consideration, making sure that we have the right personnel on the field in those situations and we can go execute in those situations.
All right, we'll go to Jeff Rado from Cal Bears on his side.
Mike, we were talking to Justin about injuries and how many snaps he's played for you last year and this year. And is it a situation where he's been so productive it's just hard to take him off the field? And the fact that Dyches has been banged up, does that make it even harder? And are you worried about wiping him out, getting too tired?
I think Jack's one of our best players. We want our best players on the field, and we have Jack and I and Coach Safel have a very open relationship as far as being able to communicate how he feels in games. He knows that we'll sub him whenever he lets us know. But Jack's a really good football player. He's in really good shape. He conditions himself really well throughout the week. And obviously we had a good 1-2 punch with him and Corey throughout the first half of the season. And with Corey being out, he has definitely had to kind of pull the rope a little bit harder for that tight end room, and he's done an amazing job and obviously has been super productive the last couple of weeks.
What's made him so effective? How does he get open as well as he does? And just talk about, he's had 17 catches for 220 yards the last 2 weeks.
I think he really understands spacing. He has a really great relationship with Fernando, so that helps. Him and Fernando are on the same wavelength. But he can win versus man. He can win versus zone. We're moving him around quite a bit to create different matchups throughout a game, and he just does a really good job of coming in every week, getting the game plan, and really being fine-tuned. So when we get on Saturday, he's a guy that the quarterback trusts, and when the quarterback trusts you, the ball's going to find you.
And when he outran a Miami cornerback for that long touchdown, a lot of us were surprised that he stayed ahead of him. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I knew Jack had some speed, but whenever I was in the box calling the plays in that game, and I saw him catch it, and I saw the corner turn around and start chasing him, and I was thinking to myself, man, I don't know if he's going to get there, and the corner never closed the gap, so that was really impressive play by him.
All right, thanks, Mike.
We'll go to Steve Croner from the SM Chronicle.
Yeah, Mike, kind of following up on that, and maybe this also goes to the absence of Merriweather and maybe now the addition. Since the Miami game, Fernando's numbers in terms of percentage are really good and really hadn't had any interceptions, but you haven't been getting the long plays. How much of that has been a function of the protection? How much of that has been a function of not having enough speed on the outside? What's the reason for the success in terms of percentage, but not necessarily in terms of long plays.
Yeah, I mean, obviously trying to help Fernando get the ball out of his hands, throwing a little bit more quick game. You know, he does a really good job with that stuff. If we give him multiple options, his growth throughout the progressions and being able to check plays, giving him a formation and letting him check different concepts, he has grown so much in that area. But we have to be more explosive down the field. I think that was very disappointing last week. We took a couple shots early. Did not execute well, and then we even within our base concepts had some opportunities to go win one-on-one on the perimeter and didn't get that done. So again, I've got to do a better job of designing some of those plays and making sure that we've got the right personnel in the right spot, so we can, when we do call those shots down the field, we can execute them.
Thank you.
We'll go back to Matt.
Justin let us know that TJ was doubtful for this week, and you mentioned Fred and Braden as two options there at right tackle. What have those guys showed to you, and what do they offer if they're called in action?
Yeah, I mean, it's next man up. I feel like, unfortunately, we're talking about that every week. And Fred has really grown a ton. He missed quite a bit of spring ball. I was really excited about his growth. The young guy that came in, and athletically, probably one of the most athletic guys in the room. Obviously, having to grow mentally and technically and fundamentally in his game up front. But I mean, for you talk about a guy that I have a ton of excitement for in the future and what he's going to be for this program for years to come. Fred's that guy. And then Braden again got banged up in fall camp, and so has been working his way back and has really started to come on. So we'll kind of handle that throughout the week and let those guys both get reps and see how it plays out on Saturday.
Is there a certain amount of patience you have to have with those guys, both being on the younger side? For
sure. I mean, it's the same thing we've talked about with Morrow. I mean, when you're playing young offensive linemen, you're going to get some good, you're going to get some bad. And it's just the consistency and making sure that they're locked in of knowing exactly what to do, and then understanding that there's going to be some bumps along the road. But those guys are extremely coachable. They work extremely hard, and I know they're going to play extremely hard.
With Fred in particular, even into his senior year, he was playing a different position at one point. What's the process been like for him kind of getting used to playing offensive line? Where have you seen the real growth from him? Yeah, the first thing he had to do is exactly what Nick Morrow had to do, is he had to gain about 50 pounds. He was about at 255 pounds when he got here. He's about 305, 310 right now, and he's just turned into a massive human being. But the growth from understanding technically and fundamentally, it's not just, hey, I'm going to block that guy. How am I blocking that guy? What's the leverage? Where's the ball going? Understanding conceptually what we're getting done and where I can lose a guy on outside zone, inside zone. So those are the things that we've really been focusing on him with, and I've just seen nothing but great growth through this entire season, which is what you want to see from young guys, because as the season goes on, guys are going to get banged up, and that's why you're always coaching and developing those guys that are sitting behind them right now, and you challenge them every week in practice, because at some point you're going to need those guys. Coach is talking about trying some different personnel out at different times this season. Byron and Jamal got an opportunity to really get an extended look in this last game. What did you see from those guys at running back? Yeah, I mean, we've been challenging those guys to step up, and they have to. It was, for Jamal Wiley to come in, his first college carry to be 4th and 1, was a big time conversion for him. So I was proud of him. We know the type of physical runner he is, and now he's just got to, hopefully that gives him confidence to where he can play on 1st and 2nd down as well. And then Byron, I thought gave us a big spark, had a great check down catch at the end of the half to get us in field goal range, had a couple good runs as well. And I think hopefully that gives him confidence to just continue to push and understand that, he can help us win.
We'll go back to Jeff.
Mike, how much has Fred actually played in games? Doesn't seem like a lot. And can you just talk about what is the difficulty of replacing a guy who has as much experience as Session? I think he started every game since the start of last season.
Yeah, Fred has not played much in game. All of his work has been in practice. Thankfully he gets to go against really good people in practice every day, and he gets to grow every day. But you can't replace a guy that, every game that I've been here, TJ Sessions been our starting right tackle. He's a leader of our O-line. And I don't imagine that we're going to be missing him for too long, but he's going to be all in on helping those young guys on the sideline and helping us win on Saturday.
So you're hopeful that he'll be back sooner than later?
Yes, very hopeful.
All right, thanks.